Hi there. Thank you for listening and watching. This is some lovely rosemary. It smells so good. It's been freshly pruned. It was pruned a couple days ago. So whenever you prune a plant, it always gives off that fresh smell. And I just believe it's the essential oils in the plant kind of, giving off that smell because you just cut it, and now it's has kind of a wound. I don't know if you can see like this one I pruned. And then, when you cut them, usually the wound kind of heals over like humans, that little brown spot right there, that means it's been pruned. So, welcome to my botanical garden. I am Lamarr Townsend Tarot. If you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. If you are not new to my YouTube channel, thank you for being here. Welcome to my botanical garden. I'm sure you've seen it before. A botanical garden is basically a garden that is kind of managed and watched over for scientific purposes, for purposes of studying plants and things like that. And that's kind of what I have going on here. But really, it's more so a medicinal garden. I do use these plants for medicinal purposes, for culinary purposes a lot of the times. I think only one of them is not edible. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to show you the rest of my plants. This is only one plant. This is one of my favorites, however, rosemary. Because I use it a lot. It smells amazing. It's probably my favorite scent other than the lavender I have over there. I don't know if you can see my little lavender plant right there. Right there. We're going to go over there and talk to the lavender plant and introduce you to the lavender plant soon. But this is my indoor garden. And I live in an apartment, so I don't always get the best sun in my apartment, unfortunately. I know they say that, the best, you really have to pay attention to where the sun is coming from. Is it coming from the east, the west, south, north? When it comes to your apartment and lighting, and then from there, buy a house plant. But I don't really care, you guys. Like, I, buy whatever plants I want. Have all of them survived? No. Have most of them survived living in my home? Not getting, sufficient sun? Yes. And that's because I have a system that I've created to keep them alive and to keep them thriving, to keep them green and beautiful and healthy, like this beautiful rosemary plant. As you can see, it is very green, it's very green, it's very beautiful, it's very healthy. Actually, I need to check if it needs to be watered. No, it's pretty good. Probably needs to be watered soon. Actually, I think I might water this a little bit. I'm gonna take this out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a little bit of water. Feeling the center there, and it just was a little bit dry. I don't like that. So we're gonna actually water my rosemary plant. I'm gonna show you how I do that here in a second. But before I do that, let me introduce you to the rest of my garden over here. So I'm just gonna flip the camera over. Oh, I just took a picture. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I guess I can't flip it over now. That's weird. Okay, so this is my beautiful lavender. Very, very pretty. As you can see, it is flowering currently. All right. Ugh. Center, focus, focus. Maybe you're too close there. I want you to see the flower. There you go. It's flowering right there, as you can see. This is probably the one that's the most flowered right now. This little flower right here. But as you can see, there are other buds on here. There's one right here that's flowering. There's another one right here that's about to flower. Should be a couple more somewhere around here I can't see right now. But this is my lavender plant. Oh, there's another one right here. Can you see that? I wish it would focus. Oh God, the lighting is messing up and everything. Why are you doing this right now? We're filming. This is not professional. All right. Well, my camera's trying to focus, but it's not. But you can see that it's flowering, okay? And so this is my lavender plant, very green. I bought this a couple days ago. It seems to be doing well, but I think I might water this one too because the soil feels a little bit dry as well. So we're going to take this out of the pot. And we're going to move it over here with my rosemary plant to be watered a little bit. I'm going to show you what I water it with because I actually do not water my plants with with tap water. All right, be careful with that because you know some tap waters are not good. Okay, so really good that you water. I think with spring water is really good. Distilled water I think is the best. So, like I was telling you guys, I don't have the best lighting or I don't have the best sun in my apartment. For example, that's one of my altars for my dad. Rest in peace, Daddy. But and as you can see, I have a little aloe plant right here actually that I actually like to keep. I like to keep this near the window because I can just kind of open, and it's dark outside right now, so you're not gonna be able to, you know, see. But with these types of plants, and I have a lot of aloe plants, I just like to open the windows, and you know, when there is sun, the aloe will get the sun it needs. All right, because unfortunately, and I'll show you here, I have my little botanical garden here. I guess you know is what you could say. And I have grow lights there. All right. So grow lights are good if you don't get adequate sun in your apartment, in your home, or in a certain space in your home. Okay. So grow lights you can get from Home Depot. I think you can get some from, sorry, I'm trying to center it so you can see. You can get some from Walmart, I think probably Target. I got these from Home Depot. I did get one from Target that I don't use as often. Just because I tend to keep my plants kind of out here near the kitchen, in the living room, although I do keep some in my room. So I'm gonna just show you what I have over here. This is my sweet basil. I just bought this a couple days ago, actually. Really, really healthy, and I just pruned it a couple days ago. Might have to prune it again. Some of the leaves are a little funky, but you know, it is what it is. For the most part, it's really healthy. And you always want to make sure that you check the soil if you have like an indoor apartment. This feels like it's getting a little dry too, so I might want to water this one as well, to be honest with you. Just a little bit, nothing too major. So we're going to put that to the side. This is my other basil that I've had for way longer than I had that basil. This one, you know, I've been keeping alive for a long time. This one doesn't feel like it needs to be watered really. And another way you can tell if your plant needs to be watered is if it starts to droop. Now, luckily this one's standing really tall and strong, so that means it's pretty good when it comes to the water, but you always want to check the soil. If the soil looks dry, you know, that's a good indication that it probably needs water, but you also want to just check the soil. And, you know, if it feels moist, it should be okay. I have a little, I don't know if you can see. I want you guys to see my Venus flytrap. Can you see it? That's my Venus flytraps right there. They're all closed. Hoping they're closed, maybe because they're sleeping, or maybe because I don't know they got food. I did put them on the windowsill earlier. This is my eucalyptus plant that I got a couple days ago. And I like to make sure that I keep these small plants near underneath the light. I like to keep them all underneath the light. So what I'll do sometimes is if there's not enough room at the top here, at the top of the table, what I'll do is I'll put some at the bottom here. And I'll just kind of push them to the edge so that, you know, they're getting the light down there. And then I'll have space, you know, at the top here to put my rosemary. I'll have a space to put my lavender as well. Once again, if there's no sun. If there's sun, then I'll put the lavender in my room, give that a little sun, and put the rosemary here, and then I'll put some of the smaller plants up top here so they can get, you know, a lot of sun. But let me just keep moving on. Now, the eucalyptus is, I heard, is not edible, so I have not actually eaten the eucalyptus, but it is good for warding off negativity. It's also good for repelling bugs. This is sage. I have used this. This is really good. I tend to put this in my water. This actually feels like it needs to be watered too, speaking of water. So we're going to put that to the side. This is my other sage that I've had for a while. And, you know, I put this in my water too. This is my mint plant. I think this is, what is this, chocolate mint? No, this is actually orange mint. So it has a orangey flavor to it. Really, really good. Goes great in a drink. This is my chocolate mint over here. I was worried about this one for a while because it's just so stringy. This one. But it seems to be growing really well. Look at all that greenery down there. Can you see it? This is so, like, weird. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, so... Oh my god, this camera is, like, so weird. I'm, like, sweating. I'm so hot, you guys. Probably need to turn the air on. But, okay, so this is my thyme. This is another rosemary plant right here. Let me get it to focus. This is another rosemary plant here. And this is thyme. This gets really, really big, so you just want to make sure that this has enough. I'm just checking the soil on all these. So all these seem to be good. This is what I have going on over here. I like to keep these plants here so that they can get enough sun. And the only plant that I have that doesn't need sun or really need much of any maintenance are these bamboo, lucky bamboo plants I have here. So I have this lucky bamboo plant, and this just needs water, and you make sure you want to keep this away from the sun, because if you put it in the sun, it will kind of wilter and die. Here's another lucky bamboo plant that I have. I'm going to take these out so you can actually see them really well. Really green, really healthy, and you literally just, put water in these. Some pebbles. I do think you can put some of them in fertilizer, but I would just keep them in water. It's way easier, less maintenance. You do want to make sure that you change the water frequently. I think I just changed the water on these a couple of days ago. Because what you don't want is you don't want root rot or anything like that with lucky bamboo. So, and I have another aloe vera. Like I said, I have a ton of aloe vera. This is probably my biggest one. I like to keep this near the window once again. Shout out to VCU, my stomping grounds. That's where I graduated. So, okay, let's water these. Now you've seen how I keep them alive when it comes to lighting in my apartment. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like, oh, I have an apartment, I don't get the best lighting. I can't have plants. Don't think that way. Obviously, it's just going to be a little bit more maneuvering, a little bit more strategizing, having plants in your apartment, but not having adequate sun. But, don't be discouraged. So, what we want to do now is, now when it comes to watering my plants, since it's not an outdoor garden, I don't need one of those pails. I use classic old bottled water. Now in this case, we're going to use Deer Park, and maybe I can put you in the sink so I can show you how I do this part. Oh, that's covered. Alright. So, let's water some plants really quickly. I just take the cap off and oh, please don't ball. First we're going to water. No, I think first we're going to water this stage because it's a bit smaller. And I'm going to get the thingy for it. Hold on. Because after we water it, we're going to put it back in the pot. And after we put it in the pot, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little saucer underneath it because you want it to drain. You want the water to drain out. What you don't want is you don't want the water to sit in the plant at the bottom of the plant. That'll cause root rot. So we can tell that it needs to be watered because I'm just going to show you guys really quickly. If you look at it, where is it? I'm trying to show you. Oh, here it is. It's like on this side. I don't know if you can see. Look at that dead leaf right there. Can you see it? That's usually a sign that, it needs to be watered. When you see that dead leaf, that's a sign it needs to be watered. So it's a good thing that we're watering it now. Oh no, my basil fell, but it's okay. I think one of the leaves got a little messed up. Oh no. I think it's okay. if a leaf did get messed up, it will just die off, but I'm just gonna have to clean up this dirt. I'm not gonna put the dirt back in the basil, but it's okay. It's okay. The plant's still okay. That's a good thing. It's still okay, thank God. But now, before I make any more of a mess, let's just go ahead and water this sage. But first I'm gonna pluck out the leaf. The dead leaf. There's a dead leaf. We're just gonna put that to the side. And any other dead leaves that you see, you just want to pluck out. You don't want them to stay in the soil. I think we're good. So we're just going to pour a little bit of water in there. And we kind of want it to get soaked. Another way of telling if your plant needs to be watered is if you pick it up and it feels really light. That's typically a sign it needs to be watered. Now, because this is so small, we're going to go a little bit easy on the watering. And you always want to make sure that you kind of work the water in a bit and make sure it drains out. Because once again, you just don't want it to sit in there. That actually feels pretty good. Maybe I'll put a little bit more in just for safe measure, but not too much. I think that's good. And then if it gets dry, you know, we'll just check it periodically and we'll water it again. Sage is good though. Let's just do a few more kind of working the water in a little bit, just to make sure that it's good. And when we're good, we just plop the plant back in the pot, terracotta pot. Make sure that we put a saucer underneath it so that when it drains into the saucer and not onto the white organizer thingy. So next we're going to do my basil. My poor basil, you fell, and I just want to make sure that your leaves are still healthy. None of them broke off or broke in half, because it smelled like it. I smelled the essential oil and I thought that, oh no, maybe a leaf broke, but maybe that was just you kind of crying out for help a bit. Releasing your essential oils, maybe. You know, plants are smart, you guys. Alright. Let's water that. And what we should do is we're just going to put the rest of the water that we didn't use on the sage, we're just going to put the rest of the water in here. I'm going to really give that a good soak. And I think it'll really like this because after it's fall, I think the water will once again help it heal a bit and work through any, you know, traumatizations it went through in the process. That feels really, really good. That feels really, really watered. Probably won't have to worry about this for a couple of days, probably for the rest of the week, because this is really, really, look at all that water draining out. So that's good. We're gonna plop that back in there. We're gonna get a saucer to put this on. And we're gonna put this back over to get some light. Now before I do this, just because we're live and I don't plan on actually editing this and I don't want to get this dirt on my carpet, I'm going to sweep really quickly and get this dirt off. I'm just going to show you guys. See? Can you see the dirt? The dirt, the dirt, the dirt. Not too bad, right? Could have been worse. Could have been worse. I just like a clean kitchen. I like a clean home. When I cook, I like to clean as I go, so that, you know, after I'm done cooking, I don't have to clean as much. I hope we clean at all. Because who likes to clean after you finish eating or cooking? I mean, I want to go to sleep most of the time. Or have a drink. Have an herbal refreshment, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. If you live somewhere where it's legal. And then maybe eat some more. You know, you get the munchies or something. I don't know. That's on you. However, I like a clean apartment and a clean home and a clean kitchen. Clean home and a clean kitchen keeps bugs and negativity away. Okay. Feeling good about that. So now, the big kahunas. Now let's first do the rosemary. So what we're going to do, this is a pretty big thing of rosemary. We're going to just get, we may have to get 2 water bottles. And I think this will be good because I've been pruning it a lot lately. I'm just going to kind of hold this in the sink. And you really want to get it in a spot where it's not too messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the water right there in the center. Right there. So it makes it easier for us. And then, you know, the rosemary can get its water from the kind of center outward. Oh, I can already smell it. Yes, it smells good. So drink up all that water. So we're going to just open up another water bottle. Looks like I'm hugging it, doesn't it? I love you, Rosemary. Just going to pour another bottle of water in there. Gonna get it really good. 2 bottles should be good. We might have to do a 3rd one. I'm gonna check the soil. It might be beneficial to do a 3rd, to be honest. Alright, I just don't want this to fall like the sage or like the basil did. Alright, so it looks like they're gonna take 3. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out 3 water bottles for the lavender. And it looks like tomorrow I'm gonna have to buy more water because, geez, my plants have been drinking my water, my friends have been drinking my water. It's crazy. But it is getting hot, so I can't blame them. Alright, let's pour 1 more bottle of water in there. Get it really, really good. And that's good. When we see it draining, that means it's getting down to those roots. That's what we want. Alright? So that's good. I feel good about that. We're going to put this back in the pot. Let it drain out. And now the other big kahuna. My lavender. So this one feels pretty dry too, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with maybe 2 water bottles and see if we even need a 3rd. This one's a bit bigger, so we're going to have to lift up some of the leaves here and find a good angle to put the water in. And you know the plants love it when you put water, when you give them water and you smell their essence. That means they're loving the water. Okay, so we use 1 water bottle. Let's go ahead and open up another one. Plants need water too. And you just want to kind of turn the lavender plant around and get it on, you know, every corner, every side, every crevice. Give it a really good, you know, quench its thirst. Uh-oh, some of it's running off the counter. I'm gonna have to clean that up. And the last bottle of water we're gonna put here in the center, so that the center of the plant gets a really good quench. All right. There we see it draining, so that's a good sign. That means it's getting down to those roots. Those roots are getting water. They're getting the moisture they need to continue to thrive and grow and be beautiful, to smell good, to give us that luscious green, lavender. And there we go. So we're going to put this back in its pot over here. And that is how I keep my indoor plants alive. That's how I contain and maintain my indoor botanical garden. So I hope you learned something from this video. I have a lot of cleaning to do before I go to bed. Alright, I love you guys. And let me know what else you want to see in terms of botanical gardens, in terms of my indoor garden. I do plan on getting more plants as time goes on, but I'm happy with what I have so far. You guys are all up in my food, honey. Jeez Louise. Okay, we're good. Alright, so I love you guys. If you would like to get a reading from me, I am an astrologer as well as a psychic tarot reader. Check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. I am available for bookings. Purchase your reading directly on my website, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we'll get your reading done as soon as possible, okay? Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell next to the subscribe button so you get a notification whenever I go live and upload a brand new video. Thank you for listening and watching. This is my indoor garden video, and I love you guys. Have a great day, great night, great evening, and catch you later.